So here's the deal. I have this 8-step sales process that I built out like 2 years ago. And once I give my life to Jesus, Jesus is like, bro, I don't like it. I'm like, but it works, bro. I'm getting deals. You got to change it. I'm like, why? And then he's like, go back and listen to all these calls that you've locked up. And I'm listening. I'm like, bro, holy crap, I'm lying to people. My journey in sales. Who knows Pace Morby in the room? Anybody? Dang, Pace is out here, bro. That's my guy. Pace Morby is my guy. So here's the deal. I'm one of Pace Morby's mastermind students. Pace is like the man, bro. I got to give him so much of my success in this industry has come from things that he's taught me, things that he's built in his community. I've even done a deal with these guys in the back because of that community. It's just like everything that he's done is amazing. Here's the deal. He hops on a Q&A with me. Very first day I get into his mentorship, and I'm like, Pace, what's going on, bro? I actually get to see the guy. And he's like, yeah, I'm here. What's up, bro? How do I help you? I'm like, well, remember the story I was telling you guys? I had like 5 different marketing channels. I was consistently generating leads. Nothing was happening. Actually, this was at the point, I think I had Karen on the team for about 2 months and I still didn't get a deal. And I've been pouring into my business for like 6 months, a bunch of money. My pockets are just burning. And Pace hops on this Q&A with me. I'm explaining this to him. And he's like, dude, so you're generating leads? Like you got virtual assistants, you're doing direct mail, you have like actual motivated sellers going in your pipeline, right? And I'm like, yeah, bro, like consistently on a daily basis. He's like, why aren't you getting deals? I'm like, brother, that's why I paid for your dang course. Like, I don't know. He's like, all right, well, here's what it sounds like. It sounds like you have this system that's operating and generating you leads. You are just failing to convert. And I'm like, nah, bro, I know how to talk to people. I can talk myself out of handcuffs, I promise you. He's like, sorry to break the news to you, bro, but I think that you got to go learn sales. I think you got to get better at talking to sellers. And I'm like, interesting, okay. Well, let me figure this out. What do I do? He's like, well, go take my sales training, go get obsessed with sales, dedicate the next 6 months of your life to getting better at talking to sellers and see what happens. So I literally do everything for the next 6 months to get better at talking to sellers. I'm listening to all of Pace's calls. I'm getting sales training from other people. I'm listening to all the sales books that I possibly could. I'm doing anything and everything that I could to get better at talking to sellers. In the 3rd week of me doing that, I end up with my first deal. Okay, by the way, before I got into that program, I was about to quit real estate for my whole life. I was going like 6-7 months of just burning. Nothing was happening. And I saw one of Pace's ads and I'm like, all right, this is my last time. I realized that sales was the thing that actually was making me the money. It was not lead generation. Now, at the end of the day, I needed leads no matter what. If you don't have leads, you don't have a business. But if you don't know how to convert, you'll be spending money and you'll essentially be losing more money than you ever make. And that doesn't make any sense. So once I realized that, like I told you guys, I went everywhere. I went to all the Pace's stuff, all of this guy's stuff, that guy's stuff. Every salesperson that I could think of, I went. And here's what I learned. I learned that there's 2 main forms of sales, I should say. There's selling like features and benefits, and then there's consulting, okay? Features and benefits is like that used car salesman guy, right? But features and benefits really works. You know, like the really fast talking people that like just all of a sudden you leave the store and you ended up buying something and you didn't want to buy something? It works, you're gonna make money. However, for me, it just wasn't fulfilling. Like, I'm like, that just don't feel right to me. If somebody walks into my store and they need some construction boots because they're in construction, and I try to sell them on running shoes and they never ran in their life, and I actually convert and I sell them, that doesn't make sense to me. That's not fulfilling, right? So I learned this type of sales called consulting. And this is essentially finding somebody with a problem that you can solve. It's the easiest thing. It's like therapy, right? You go to therapy, you're sitting there, you got a problem with your wife, and the therapist is listening, they're listening, and then they give you some solid action steps to take. You all of a sudden go take that action step, and now you and your wife have a much better life. That's more of the consulting side of sales, okay? That's what I was attracted to. So I started learning all these people that were teaching this consulting type of sales. Once I realized that, I'm like, all right, bro, I got all these different things, okay? Here's what happens. I get my first deal, okay? I get more VAs on the team. I get more leads generating. They keep coming in. I keep getting deals consistently, maybe like one every 6 weeks or something like that. They keep converting. And I'm like, yo, I'm a closer. I'm a gangster. I got this. So I start teaching people how to sell. Every single thing that I just learned, I started teaching people how to sell. And then I realized, I'm like, yeah, I'm teaching people, but I don't really know how to teach them. I just hop on the phone. Like I know I've gotten all these bits and pieces from all these different people, but how the heck do I take what's in my brain and put it in a process to teach all these other people? Because I'm hopping on calls with people teaching them, and I don't have like a structure that I'm teaching them. I'm just kind of like going off the top, and it doesn't make any sense, okay? Once I realized that, I'm like, all right, let me really sit down. So I sat down for probably like 2 weeks straight, and I'm like, let me figure out what it is exactly that I do on every call, because I know I have a process, I just can't explain it. I sat down for 2 weeks, and I figured out, all right, here's this piece that I got from this person, here's this piece that I got from that person, here's this piece that I got from that person, and I bundled it all up into an 8-step sales process. That's what I'm gonna teach you guys today. Once I did that, I'm like, dang, from start to finish, all these steps, this makes so much sense. This is exactly what I do. And why that was so important, the reason why I needed to do that, yeah, I was teaching people, but the main people that I needed to teach was my team. Because I was trying to go do other things. I was trying to build my fix and flip business. I was trying to coach other people and get into other things. And my own business was holding me back from doing that because I was the guy closing. Remember, I told you guys I thought that I was the man because I was closing all the deals. Not that cool. Like, it's not cool to be the guy in your business. I don't want to be the guy. I want my business to just run without me. You see what I mean? That's why I had to sit down for 2 weeks and figure out this process. Then I implement this process to my team. I bring on a guy named Felipe, who is still one of my sales reps today. He's in the States. And I'm like, Felipe, I'm so excited, bro. I get to teach you this 8-step sales process. Dude, in literally like a week, he got it. And all of a sudden, I'm like, bro, this is working. He got his first deal, okay? This is probably like 2 years ago. I'll never forget it. I had a limiting belief in myself that I had to be the guy teaching everybody, like doing the calls, okay? And closing, not teaching everybody. And it was a limited belief. I could not see anybody doing that for me. I'm like, there's just no way. There's no way. I have this thing in my brain. I'm just freaking really good at talking to people. Maybe it's a gift I have. I don't know. Finally, I implement this process. Felipe gets his first deal in like 2 weeks with this process. And I'm like, wow, all right. I guess I had a limited belief. I got to get over that mindset. That's how I switched it up, okay? That was about 2 years ago. Now, fast forward a couple years. This is about a year ago. I'm just speaking my truth here. This is just my life, what I went through. Over the past year, I've gave my life to Jesus. Amen. I'm not here to like force Jesus down anybody's door, by the way. But does anybody believe in Jesus? Raise your hand. If you don't, it's cool. All right, love you. When you give your life to Jesus, your whole life has to change. It's like he comes into the door. Imagine this was your house, right? And you got your couch right here. You got your TV right here. You got all the furniture. Jesus walks in the door. And he's like, I need that right here. I need you to push this over here. Bring in the other couch over here. That TV's got to go. You got to do that. He'll rearrange your whole... Yeah, bro, he'll rearrange your whole entire space. So here's the deal. I have this 8-step sales process that I built out like 2 years ago. And once I give my life to Jesus, Jesus is like, bro, I don't like it. I'm like, but it works, bro. I'm getting deals. You got to change it. I'm like, why? And then he's like, go back and listen to all these calls that you've locked up. And I'm listening. I'm like, bro, holy crap, I'm lying to people. Like, I had this whole entire process, right? Which is dope. It's badass, locks up deals. But I'm telling all these little white lies, right? I'm coming up with these crazy stories that just aren't true. I'm telling people that I'm in an office. You'll learn one of the urgency steps. That I'm in an office and that I got to go run to my underwriter and get a number from them in order to like get the number up, and I'm negotiating and I'm telling all these little white lies. He's like, yeah, you might have been learning that from everybody else in the industry that you've looked up to. That shit's over. He's like, no, you got to do this the right way. And I'm like, interesting. I'm like, but dude, that's going to make me become a new person. I don't like that. I don't think I'm going to have to change. And he's like, yeah, bro, remember I told you to put the couch over there? Okay, so I literally had to take the 8-step sales process and not completely rearrange it, but I had to tweak it so that we're telling the truth and we're doing this business without having to lie, manipulate, negotiate, because that's what a lot of people teach. I will tell you one thing, the features and benefits type of sales, that's all that shit's about. Consulting, it's more righteous and you're doing it the right way because you're solving a problem. But the problem is the people in the industry that are teaching it are doing it in a way that's lying and manipulating the people. You could simply just be yourself. Comes down to one thing. What do you think the number one thing that leads to people converting deals is? Where does that come from?
Building relationships.
Honesty.
Trust. Where does trust come from?
Communication.
I like the trust thing, but it comes from something.
Morals.
Like it?
Being truthful.
The truth.
Being honest.
Something. So how does somebody trust you?
Now you're right.
Say what you do.
Say what you do. I like it.
Open up. Being impeccable with your word, being consistent.
All right, we're getting somewhere now. Being consistent with your word, being impeccable with your word, being what? Being more. You almost had it.
Honest.
It's a C word.
Clear.
Nope.
Consistent.
Consistent obviously is key. Why does somebody want to do a deal with somebody?
Communication.
There we go. Let's go. Confidence. What's your name?
Janine.
Give it up for Janine. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.